Good morning, class. I'm audible.
Yes.
The screen is visible to all.
Yes, sir.
So today we are moving to our fourth unit, that is platform and the tools, right? As you can see, what we have over here is we have to study about the sensor nodes, hardware, and we have to study about the Barclay modes, right? And in that particular a platform which we are going to discuss is about the one of the tool, that is Contiki, right? And this is an open source tool which is available to us. And in this session, I will talk about what is Contiki, how you can install it, Contiki from GitHub, and then what other platform is required for do this thing for Unix based operating system or for Windows based operating system, right? So we have two versions. We have a different version uh, for Windows, and if you want to do this platform particularly for Windows, then we need one more intermediator, that is known as a VMware, right? So first thing that you need to install is that you have to install the VMware Workstation Pro that you can easily get from filehippo.com, right? So once you install it from filehippo.com, then the latest version, then you will see that the screen will appear on your this type of screen will appear on your in your screen, right? This window will appear, and over here you will get a chance to uh, do this thing, three things which is there, that is to create a new virtual machine, to open a virtual machine. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to create a new virtual machine, and for that you need one of the operating system of that is Contiki operating system. This is also a sensor for wireless sensor network, right? So in that we have different flavors, and for that you can go with this. I have installed these three flavors over here. You can see on the left hand side, that is SDN tutorial. We have one instant Contiki 2.7. We have instant Contiki 3.0. This is the latest version 3.0, and you can also install the old version also, that is 2.7. So I'm just moving with that, and you can see when I will click over there, then this screen will appear, which talks about Instant Contiki 3.0. So what you have to do is you have to power on this virtual machine, and immediately after that, you will see that VMware will start this operating system, that is wireless sensor network operating system, which is working on the layer of VMware, right? That is a virtual layer, right? It will take some couple of minutes to get started, and once that thing is started, you have to log in with the user ID and password, right? So the user ID and password is user for this Ubuntu operating system, right? So this is one of the virtual machine which is available to us, right? So we can get started with the password, that is user, and this is by default for every Contiki this 3.0 or 2.7 operating system which you install in your desktop or laptop, right? So you will see over here that once you will get started with this, right, you will have the desktop over here. This is another operating system, Ubuntu operating system, and in this Ubuntu operating system, what we need to do is we need to open the terminal first of all, right? So you have multiple options for that. You can directly click over here, right? You can see terminal. Now we have terminal in front of us, right? And I just want to do this as a full screen. So you can see over here that we have different commands, and first of all, we have to find the folder where we have to perform that task, right? So over here you will see this folder that is known as Contiki, right? So we just move inside this folder that is Contiki. As you can see, I have used this command, that is change directory, and we get inside to the Contiki operating system. Then we will find the files. What are the file listed over here? For that we have this command ls, and we can use -lh, basically used for listing the file with the attributes, but currently it is not working over here. Just hold on. Okay, let it be. So now over here you will find one folder that is known as tools. You can see. So what you have to do is you have to go inside this folder, and then you can find few more files over there, right? So inside the tool, you will find one more folder that is known as Koja, which is a simulator, right? So in this Contiki operating system, we have this tool which is known as Koja tool, over where we are going to deploy our sensor node and a sensor network, and then we will identify, or we can implement the routing protocol over here, right? We can implement the MAC protocol over here with this, right? So I'm just going inside this Koja folder, and in that Koja folder you will see that I have all these files, right? Now to run the tool, we have this command. Please pay attention over here. The command is ant run, and when we'll click over there, we will see few of the libraries will get uploaded, and here is going to build the koja.jar. So this simulator is basically built in Java, right? And but over here, the plus point of this simulator is you can code in any platform. You can code it in C language also. You can code it in C++. You can code it in Java also. So that is the beauty of this Contiki operating system, where we are using the Koja simulator, right? So you have to just hold on. You have to just wait for a few minutes for this simulator to get started, and then we will have a welcome window. Over there, I will going to explain the different components that are available to us and how we are going to get interacted with it. And we will learn how we can able to deploy the modes over there, right? So this is your Koja simulator, right? On the top left, you can see it is written the Contiki network simulator, right? You can see over here we have different options, right? Few of them are is not active till now because we have not deployed the network. So once the network will get deployed, then you can easily able to deploy your network, right? So for that, what need to be done is first you have to click on the file, and after clicking on the file, you have to go with the new simulation, right? So the first thing appear after that is the simulation name. So here you can give any name for your project that you want to perform. Like if you want to perform some kind of simulation 1, so I'm just writing it with simulation 1, and over here few settings need to be done. Otherwise you can go with the default setting also, because it is having a radio medium, which is talking about the type of radio medium we want to perform for our deployment of the network. So here we have a network medium radio type that is constant loss. We have a directed graph radio medium. We have no radio traffic. We have path ray tracer medium. So I'm just going with the UDGM, that is unit disk graph medium. And over here we have to create it first of all. And after creating, you will see that multiple windows will get opened over here, and every window have its own significance, where you can see the leftmost on the top, you can see over here, this is the window where we are going to deploy our sensor node, right? And this is the control simulation where we can start, we can pause, or we can reload the network using by this keys when it get enabled. Over here, you can write any notes if you want to write. This is for your purpose, right? Here you will find the mote output. So this is the important one where we will see the output. And here we will have a timeline where the communication is occurring between the sensor node or between the sync node, right? So in our network, we have two types of nodes. First one is known as the sync node, which is basically to acquire the data from all the nodes which are deployed in different location in our network, right? So it is just like a kind of coordinator which is performing the collection task, right? Whereas the other nodes are of type which will transmit the packets, right? Which are sensor nodes, which will acquire or which will collect the physical quantities like heat or like temperature, like moisture level, right? All that thing will be collected by that sensor node, and then there is need to transmit that sensor node to the sync, right? So that was the principal idea that we have studied from the beginning in this wireless sensor network, right? So you can see over here we have different types of modes. So first type I'm just going to show you here is that is sky. So sky mode, we are using that sky mode over here. Now for that sky mode, we need to upload the technique basis on which that sky mode is going to perform operations. It could be the routing protocol, right? So what we are going to do is we are just trying to use any of this protocol. You can see over here, we have multiple examples, which is by default, they have given to us for collection, right? For IPv6, we have HTTP socket, we has RIME for WSN, right? For RPL, we have for IoT, right? So you can also implement the concept of IoT by using this Conti key also, right? So moving with this, first we have suppose IPv6 and we are going with RPL, UDP, and over here you can see we have these two types that is just hold on, UDP sync and sender, right? So what we will do is UDP sender and UDP sync, and you can see the extension of these files is .c. So what it means that this firmware is basically written in C language, right? So as we have used sky mode, and we can convert this sky mode into these two types of node. One is sync node. So I'm just creating first of all a sync node, and once that firmware, that is the program that you have created, is get compiled. Over here you can see that UDP sync.c code is compiled in our sky mode, and then we can easily create it, right? So in the next window, you will see it is going to ask you that how many modes that you want to create. Over here you can see we can create one mode, right? As we only have a single sync in many application, right? So we are just going with that only. So we have one mode, that is over here we have to write one, and we can place it in this positioning, right? We have a random positioning, we have a linear positioning, eclipse, manual positioning. So we are just going to it to be a random positioning, and we are putting it like add mode. So you can see over here, this mode is now available to us in this network window, where few of the attributes need to be enabled. And for that, what we are going to do is we are going to click on the view button, where we can see the mode ID first of all. Then we can see the environment. You can see over here, right? The graphics get changed over here when I click over there, and you can see the grid that I want for better understanding. You can see like this way, so that I can able to utilize the space more efficiently. And you can see the type. So the green type is basically over here, is basically for this particular case is used for sync, right? And you can change the transmission range over here by clicking it right. Click on this mode, and then you have to click on the right button of the mouse, and after that it is going to ask you that for the radio medium UDGM, we want to have a transmission range of 50 meters, but the interference range, which is very much, and I'm just closing the interference range to 0, right? So we are talking about that we don't have this probability over here, and we have a network where interference level is 0, interference range is 0, and the sensor node can have a transmission range of 50 meters. So now you can see this is how the sync could be deployed in our network, right? Any doubt, class? Till now, if you have any doubt, you can ask. I can explain it again. Now, moving further, that we need to create another mode of same type, that is sky mode, but this time we are talking about the senders who are going to collect the data and send it to the sync, so that we can able to see the routing which is performing using UDP, right? So here we having a sender.c, and once that thing is done, we need to compile it. After compiling, just we need to create the mode, and once the mode is created, it will going to ask you the number of modes that you want to create, right? So suppose I want to create 15 new modes, so and I want to put them in some kind of linear positioning, right? So it could be done in this manner, and once I will do that, we will see that all the nodes are deployed, right? And what I have to do is I have to put this sync node near to this network, as this is out of the range. You can see over here the green surface, which is not coming into the range of any of the sender node. So it could not be possible till then. So what we can do is we have to drag it, and we have to make it so that we have to drag it till we get few of the node in the interference range of that or the transmission range of the sensor node, right? So here you can see it is in the transmission range, right? So the fact is why we are reducing the interference range, so that we can avoid the chances of hidden terminal and exposed terminal problem that we have talked in the earlier class also, right? So now we are almost ready with that sensor node, and what we need to do is we need to set few more parameters. And now you can see all the options which we are talking about is now active over here, right? So how we can collect the data? We can collect the data by clicking on that node, and we can have this collect view. So by clicking on the collect view, we can able to see the number of bytes being transmitted between the mode and the sensor node, right? You can see over here. So what I will do now, what I will start with this communication, and once the communication will start, you will see there will be a setup, and there will be a connection setup between the sensor nodes and the sync, right? So when the sync will get connected with the sensor node, you will find that the blue packets over here means there is a transmission of data which is taking place between the sensor nodes or between the sync, right? So initially you will find that every sensor node is having their own MAC address, right? And they are having some IDs. So you can see over here they having mode ID. So it is talking about particularly mode which I'm going to click over here. So you can see over here when I will click on node 13, so that 13 node will get blinked over here, right? When I click on 3, that node 3 is going to blink over here, right? So in that manner, all the sensor node are establishing a connection with the with the neighbor node, or it can establish a connection directly to the sync, right? Those nodes which are near to the sync can easily connect directly to the sync, as you can see, right? And those who are far away from it, who is not in the range of transmission range of sync, then there will be inter-hop routing, right? So there will be a routing which will take place by their neighbors, and through their neighbor it can able to reach. You can see over here, right? In this manner, this will going to establish. Now what we will do is we will see that the collect view of this, and over here you will find that how many nodes you will find that how many packets are being or bytes are being transmitted, right? Or being collected, are being transmitted by the sensor node and being collected by the sync node, right? So for that, first of all, what need to do is we need to send command to all the nodes. So once we click on send command all the nodes, it will tell to the you can see over here IMA sync. So it will tell all the sender nodes that yes, I am a sync, and you can send your data to me, right? In this manner. And over here in the left side, you will find that the 15 nodes now get successfully loaded or accepted for getting the collect view, right? In this manner, we will get confirm that yes, now the nodes are ready with us for getting their collect view, right? So what we will do is now we will click on start collect. So once that start collect, you will find that this value will change drastically. And what it means that that mode is now getting the data from this sensor node, which we have deployed over here, right? So what we will do now, we will see these features over here. You will see that all the 15 nodes, including the sync, right? You can see over here that we are getting the temperature data over here. We are getting the data for the neighbor nodes. After a few minutes, you will find that these values will get appear on the screen, right? And this is the average power consumption, right? So you can see over here the average power consumption is much higher in case of radio listening, the green one, and in radio transmission as compared to the LPM and the CPU. So CPU is basically performing the conversion of a radio signal to that digital signal, and digital signal to radio signal, that is a analog to digital converter. And it is also performing the task of capturing the data, storing it into memory, or some other task of transmitting the digital bytes into radio signals. So right, so all this computation is done over here, but you can see it is not consuming more than 0.25, right, milliwatt. As you can see over here, it get started from here, so it is not consuming more than 0.75 milliwatt, right? But in case of radio listening, you can see it is consuming more than 1, right? You can see over here it's consuming more than 1.5 and all, whereas radio transmission also consuming, and more of the energy is being consumed in case of radio listening, right? So means nodes are not participating even for transmission, but they are sitting idly and listening to the radio channel, then also it is consuming more of its power. So that is the first observation over here that we need to do. And this is the first you can see the challenge also as a programmer point of view, that how we can reduce or how we can minimize the radio listening power consumption, right, over here, right? Talking about the nodes, now over here is this chart is basically talking about the number of packets received, number of packet lost. Every node is connected to the to its neighbor. How many hops are there to connect it or to get it to the sync, right? The energy which is used for e-transmission, ETX, right? All that energy which is consumed by CPU, right? LPM. So you can see for CPU, LPM, the network, the average power consumption is 0.4. For LPM, it is 0.1, right? And for listening duty cycle, it is 1 point this thing. For transmitting duty cycle, it is 0.716, right? This is an average, right? So over here you can see also for transmit power, that is 0.3. This is the average network power consumption. You can see over here. On the basis of this, we have that graph, as you can see, right? And this is the semantic view. You can see over here the view of this network, and this is how the nodes are connected with each other. You can see that node 5 over here, if you observe node 5 over here, which is closer to the sink node, is acting as an intermediate node for node 2 and node 3, right? So node 2 over here, which is node 3 and node 2, which is connected to sink node through node 5. So this is with this network graph, you can see over here, right, that one, that is node 3, node 2 are connected with node 5 to node 1. So this is our sink node, like this way, you can see over here, right? And we are connected in this manner. So this is talking about the neighbors also, that node 3 having this neighbor to get connected with the sink node, right? Similarly, this node 2 having this neighbor to get connected with the sink node, right? Moving on the other side, you can see over here for 10, right? So now just talking about node 10 over here, if you can able to find, this is node 10. So node 10 is connected with node 6. So node 10 is connected with node 6, and then it is connected with node 6, and then it is connected with node 8. You can see the shortest path, and then it can get to node 1, that is sink node. So this is how the intermediate routing is taking place in between this, and these values are talking about RSSI value, which is considered basis on the radio signals. So signal strength is much higher on that case. On that node, the sensor nodes are getting connected with their neighbors, and then they are reaching it to the sink for data collection, right? So if you see this collect view, we have till now we have collected so much of bytes, and we have from mode to collect view, you can see we have collected this much of byte, and from collect view to mode, we can see it is 140 bytes. Yes class, if you have any doubt, you can ask. Is it clear? Is this thing is clear to you? Any doubt till now?
No doubt, sir.
You can ask folder, they have already by default, they have implemented few of them, and you can check them easily. And by doing this thing, simply by compiling that firmware and then uploading that firmware